Welcome back to the channel. We all know the Snoopys watch is launching. And I've got to admit, they might very well have hooked me with this one. I didn't care for the others, but this release has got me excited. Let's get into it. Swatch has been playing a tantalizing game of cat and mouse with us over the past couple of months, teasing a Snoopy-themed variation of their iconic MoonSwatch model. Well, guess what? Today, they finally delivered. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the MoonSwatch Mission to the Moonphase. Wow, what a mouthful. First things first, let's talk about the aesthetics. This timepiece is a vision in white, a crisp, clean, all-white colorway that's sure to turn heads. The dial, case, and even the Velcro strap are all decked out in this pristine hue. At first glance, it might seem like your standard MoonSwatch, but oh, there's a surprise waiting for you at the upper right sub-register. That's where you'll find our beloved Snoopy. Now, if you're a die-hard Omega fan, this might remind you of something. That's right, the 2015 Omega Speedmaster Silver Snoopy Limited Edition. That watch also featured Snoopy in a similar prone position on the dial, along with the Apollo 13 mission text, which read, "What could you do in 14 seconds?" The MoonSwatch Mission to the Moonphase clearly draws inspiration from this legendary timepiece, but with its own playful twist. Speaking of playful, let's talk about Snoopy's role in this watch. Unlike the 2015 Speedmaster, where Snoopy was more of a decorative element, here he takes center stage on the Moonphase disc in the 2 o'clock subdial. This subdial is cleverly labeled to represent the 29.5 days it takes for the moon to complete a phase. But wait, there's more. When the lights go out, a hidden quote from Snoopy's comic strip is revealed under UV light. "I can't sleep without a nightlight." It's a cheeky nod to the 2015 model's quote, "Failure is not an option," but with a MoonSwatch appropriate dose of humor. Now, I know we're all eager to get our hands on this beauty. Well, you'll have to wait a little bit longer. Swatch has announced that the mission to the Moonphase will be available on March 26th. Why that date, you ask? Well, it marks exactly 2 years since the launch of the original MoonSwatch back in 2022. Now let's dig into why I think this release will appeal to so many. We're going to look at this from the perspective of a behavioral economist and try to understand what this release means for the watch brands and the industry as a whole. We're going to cover 3 concepts: brand reinforcement, social identity, and the anchoring effect. Swatch is using some Jedi mind tricks to get you to buy this watch. All right, let's dive a little deeper into why this release is going to be an absolute hit with watch enthusiasts and collectors alike. Sure, there might be a few naysayers out there, but if the previous MoonSwatch releases are any indication, the mission to the Moonphase is destined for popularity. And I've got a theory about one of the key reasons behind its appeal: brand reinforcement. You see, Snoopy isn't just any old cartoon character. He's a bona fide pop culture icon, beloved by generations. By bringing Snoopy into the fold, both Swatch and Omega are tapping into that deep well of nostalgia and affection, instantly enhancing their visibility and appeal. But it goes beyond just slapping a popular character on a watch dial. The Omega Speedmaster, as we all know, has a rich history as the first watch worn on the moon. It's a timepiece that's inextricably linked to the golden age of space exploration, which I love. It's a narrative that resonates with watch enthusiasts and collectors who value that sense of history and legacy. But here's the really clever part. By bringing Swatch into the mix, Omega is effectively extending that narrative to a whole new audience. Swatch, known for its playful and accessible approach to watchmaking, suddenly finds itself rubbing shoulders with one of the most iconic timepieces in history. It's a mutually beneficial arrangement that elevates both brands. Think about it. Swatch gains a newfound sense of legitimacy and prestige by associating with the Speedmaster and its spacefaring heritage. Meanwhile, Omega gets to tap into Swatch's youthful, fun-loving vibe, potentially attracting a new generation of enthusiasts who might have previously found the brand a bit too serious or inaccessible. In essence, This collaboration is an exercise in brand reinforcement. By aligning themselves with Snoopy, both Swatch and Omega are strengthening their respective identities while simultaneously broadening their appeal. It's a win-win situation that's sure to have fans of both brands over the moon. So while there might be a few skeptics out there, I have a feeling that the MoonSwatch Mission to the Moonphase is going to be a big success. The combination of Snoopy's enduring charm, the Speedmaster space heritage, and Swatch's playful approach to watchmaking is simply too hard to resist. Let's dive deeper into the psychological underpinnings of why the MoonSwatch Mission to the Moonphase is poised to be a hit. Beyond nostalgia and emotional resonance, there's another powerful factor at here: social identity theory. This concept suggests that our sense of self is often tied to the groups we belong to and the brands with which we align. When you strap on a Mission to the Moonphase, you're not just wearing a watch, you're making a statement about who you are and what you value. Are you someone who identifies with the spirit of exploration and innovation? Do you see yourself as part of the Snoopy fandom, a lover of classic comics and cartoons? This collaboration allows you to express those aspects of your identity in a tangible, wearable form. So think about it. When you spot somebody else wearing a Mission to the Moonphase, there's an instant connection. You recognize them as part of your tribe, someone who shares your passions and values. The sense of belonging is incredibly powerful from a consumer psychology perspective. It transforms the watch from a mere accessory to a symbol of shared meaning and identity. And that's where the magic happens. When consumers feel a strong connection to a brand or product, they tend to perceive it as more valuable. They're willing to invest more, both emotionally and financially, because it reflects something meaningful about themselves. The Mission to the Moonphase isn't just a timepiece, it's a badge of honor, a way to showcase your love for exploration, innovation, and yes, a certain lovable beagle. This sense of belonging and identity can also foster intense brand loyalty. When a product becomes intertwined with your sense of self, you're more likely to stick with it, defend it, and evangelize the brand to others. It's the kind of deep, lasting connection that brands dream of cultivating with their customers. So when Swatch and Omega brought Snoopy to the mix, they weren't just adding a cute character to the dial. They were tapping into a powerful psychological force, one that transforms a watch purchase into an expression of identity and belonging. It's a smart move that resonates on multiple levels, from nostalgia to social connection. In a world where consumers are bombarded with choices and marketing messages, the ability to forge these deep identity-based connections is invaluable. The MoonSwatch Mission to the Moonphase does exactly that, offering a unique blend of history, whimsy, and social identity that sets it apart from the crowd. So when you see someone proudly sporting this watch, know that it's more than a fashion statement. It's a declaration of who they are, what they love, and the adventures they dream of embarking on. And that, my friend, is the true power of this collaboration. Now, let's talk about a subtle but incredibly powerful psychological factor that Swatch and Omega have leveraged. It's called the anchoring effect. This concept, rooted in behavioral economics, suggests that our perceptions and decisions are often influenced by the first piece of information we receive about something. And in this case, that crucial piece of information is that this collaboration isn't just a fleeting limited edition release, it's part of Swatch and Omega's permanent collection. Think about the implications of that for a moment. By positioning the Mission to the Moonphase as a staple of their brand identity, Swatch and Omega are setting a powerful anchor in consumers' minds. They're saying, this isn't just a trendy, here today, gone tomorrow timepiece. It's a lasting, integral part of who we are and what they represent. That sense of permanence and longevity is incredibly compelling from a consumer psychology standpoint. It's meant to be an enduring symbol of Swatch and Omega's brand identity, a piece of horological history that you can own and treasure, hopefully for years to come. But the anchoring effect goes even deeper than that. By establishing this collaboration as a permanent fixture, Swatch and Omega are also influencing how consumers perceive the value and significance of their partnership. It's not just a one-off marketing gimmick, it's the testament to the power of collaboration, innovation, and number one, most important, shared storytelling. This sense of permanence and value can have a profound impact on consumer behavior. When we believe that something is a lasting, integral part of a brand's identity, we're more likely to invest in it, both emotionally and money-wise. The mission to the Moonphase becomes more than just a watch. It becomes a piece of Swatch and Omega's legacy, a tangible representation of their commitment to pushing boundaries and celebrating iconic characters like Snoopy. And here's the really clever part. By anchoring this collaboration as a permanent offering, Swatch and Omega are also creating a sense of urgency and exclusivity. Because while the mission to the Moonphase may not be a limited edition in the traditional sense, there's still a feeling that you need to act fast to secure this piece of lasting legacy before everyone else catches on. It's a psychological play, one that taps into our desire for value, our fear of missing out, FOMO, and our longing to be part of something greater than ourselves. By making the MoonSwatch Mission to the Moonphase a permanent part of their collection, Swatch and Omega have created a timepiece that doesn't only tell time, it tells a story of innovation, collaboration, and the enduring power of iconic characters and brands. All right, folks, it's time to wrap up this deep dive into the psychology behind the MoonSwatch Mission to the Moonphase. We've covered a lot of ground here, and the nostalgia-fueled appeal of Snoopy to the power of social identity and the anchoring effect. But what does it all mean? Well, let's put it this way. If you're a watch enthusiast, a space buff, or a lover of all things whimsical and wonderful, the mission to the Moonphase is basically your dream come true. It's like Swatch and Omega reached into your childhood memories, plucked out the most adorable beagle in the world, and said, here, wear this on your wrist and feel like a kid again, but also like a sophisticated space-exploring astronaut. I mean, come on, it's Snoopy. On a Speedmaster, in a MoonSwatch. It's like the horological equivalent of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but instead of bread, you've got the most iconic cartoon dog in history. And let's not forget the marketing genius at play here. Swatch and Omega have tapped into the power of nostalgia, social identity, and the anchoring effect to create a watch that's not only a timepiece, but a statement. It tells a story, a declaration of your love for exploration, innovation, and the enduring magic of childhood icons. So whether you're a diehard Snoopy fan, a space enthusiast, or the MoonSwatch Mission to the Moonphase is a watch for you. It's a piece of horological history, a conversation starter, and a portal to your own cosmic adventures, all wrapped up in a sleek white package. So, watch lovers, space adventurers, and Snoopy aficionados, get ready. The MoonSwatch Mission to the Moonphase is coming, and it's going to be a great ride. See you in the next video.